A ray that penetrates the skin, enters into our body, and makes us see what we can't see through our naked eyes. A ray that makes us believe that our flight will be safe. A ray that has reached deep into space where even an optical telescope can't reach. And these rays also tell us about the activities on these heavenly bodies. Science and technology give birth to new discoveries and inventions every day. Out of these inventions, there are some that give a new direction to mankind. The discovery of X-ray is one such discovery. The discovery of X-ray was a coincidence, but today X-rays are used everywhere, from hospitals to airports, from physics to microbiology lab, from the remote reaches of space to the depths of the ocean. X-rays were discovered around 100 years back by a German scientist, Professor Wilhelm Cannard Roentgen. 8th November 1895 was the day when Roentgen was studying the characteristics of cathode rays in his lab in the University of Würzburg. Suddenly, a ray of light in the far-off corner diverted his attention. He found out that the light was coming from the screen coated with barium platinocyanide. Though Roentgen knew that if the screen is exposed to cathode rays, it brightens up, but what amazed him was that the cathode rays tube with which he was working was covered with a thick piece of cardboard. Roentgen inspected the whole room and found no other source of light there. He got disturbed. At last, Roentgen turned off the cathode ray tube itself, and the result was shocking. The screen stopped glowing. Roentgen turned on the tube again, and again, the same mysterious light. Roentgen knew that the light was related to cathode ray tube, but how? This he could not understand. But yes, Roentgen knew that cathode rays did not have the ability to penetrate the cardboard, so he was sure that cathode rays were not the direct reason. To understand this phenomenon, Roentgen did not come out of his lab for many days. Neither did he meet anyone, nor did he speak to anyone. He just kept on trying to understand this mysterious process. He experimented with wood, metal, and came to know that this ray is capable of penetrating many types of material. In these experiments, he found out that this light travels in a straight line and does not get deflected due to magnetic fields. One day, while working, Roentgen put his hand between the cathode ray tube and the coated screen. This time, Roentgen was a little scared when he saw the shadow of his hand on the barium platinocyanide screen, in which the bones of his hand could easily be seen. Roentgen immediately realized that he had discovered a new ray. He called it X-rays, because these rays were too mysterious for him. Roentgen was not the first scientist to see the X-ray. Before him, Henrik Hertz's friend Philips Lenard had seen X-ray, but he failed to understand it. When Roentgen first saw the rays, he did many calculations and experiments, and only then displayed his discovery to the world. It not only shows his dedication to science, but is a classic example of the right method to understand science. On 22nd December 1895, Roentgen called his wife Bertha to his lab, and he took the X-ray of her hand. It was the first X-ray in human history. Roentgen was honored with the Nobel Prize for Physics. He was so generous that he refused to patent the X-ray, and not only this, he even donated the entire money to the University of Wurzburg. Both X-ray and visible light are electromagnetic waves that radiate in the form of small packets of energy, which we call photon. Basically, these electrons revolve at different energy levels in an atom. The outermost orbits have the highest energy level, and as we move in, the energy level comes down. When electrons fall into the lower level, the extra energy comes out as photon. This process is called characteristics X-ray. In another process, when charged particles are suddenly stopped, energy comes out of them in form of X-ray, which is called Bremsstrahlung X-rays. The main difference between X-rays and visible light is because of the wavelength. The wavelength of visible light is more, but energy is less, while the wavelength of X-rays is less and the energy is high.